It's a damp and muggy Monday. I'm back down the Windmill Community Gardens for a catch-up with Tracy. Let's go and find her. Wow, look at those for a crop.
Last couple of harvests now of a lot of the things that we've got. We've got various interesting courgettes, we've got cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes, lots of beans, lettuce, and we've got quite a lot of beans that we haven't picked yet because we're using them for the actual beans inside. It's interesting to us that a lot of people, they'll take a bean and they'll say, well, that's great, and then the minute it starts to swell they say, oh, that's over, that's rubbish. But of course that bean is now full of protein, delicious. We do a lot of cooking with beans that taste phenomenal. We had beans 3 different ways for our meal on Thursday, and it just delicious.
Yeah, very
so good.
Very tasty that was.
Absolutely. But we've still got stuff in the ground, so we've got pak choy, we've got cavolo, we've got beetroot still doing their thing.
What's cavolo, Tracy? I'm a bit of a garden Luddite, so...
well, that's an interesting one. It's a kind of Italian leaf that is really delicious actually. It's particularly nice if you put some oil on it and then put it into an oven and actually make it into almost like a kale crisp or something. Right. But it's basically Tuscan black kale.
Okay.
We've got various other things that are supposed to be making us broccoli. We'll see if that works. And we've got some of these rather nice ornamentally kind of purple kales and cabbages, so we'll see how they go. We did have some kohlrabi, but I think maybe we've picked all of that. Do you know about kohlrabi?
No.
It looks a bit like a flying saucer. It's kind of makes a turnip shaped and sized thing on top of a stalk, so rather than being in as a root that you pull up, it's actually on a stalk, and it looks quite attractive, and you get purple ones and green ones, so they're nice.
So do you boil that or have it?
You can boil it. I like it raw actually, made into little matchsticks if it's a small one, but you want it small. We've got quite a lot of beans still on our lovely bean tunnel, but as I say, we're going to let them make actual. We've got lots of borlottis, and they're actually pretty much now ready. So what you do with those is you have them and you shell them and then eat those beans. They're really delicious. So they will all be being picked very soon. It would actually be great if we can pick them first thing on Thursday, really. This is our callaloo that's gone to seed. The leaves of it probably now too tough really to do anything, but the actual seed is quite a lovely thing. It I don't know if I can show you. It's kind of black shiny seeds. Can you see them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's these lovely little black shiny seeds, and when you get a load together it almost looks like little black glass.
Yeah. Very,
very pretty. And in theory you can wash them lots of times to get the soap out of them, because they're full of soap apparently, and then you can pop them like a tiny little popcorn or quinoa or something. But we've never tried it, so I don't know. It seems like a lot of effort to go to, but
have you ever tasted them?
I haven't.
Okay.
But I'm fascinated to know if anybody has. The leaves are very nice when they're younger. We like those. It's like a spinach, and the Afro-Caribbean community just love it, and they've helped us grow it better because we weren't very good at growing it. But now a lot of our weeds are callaloo, so that's really good. We've still got our autumn raspberries, which are going great guns, and they're really good quality fruit still. They will keep going until we have a hard frost, so it's quite nice to have them as well as the summer ones, because obviously this time of year it's lovely just to have that option, and they are just delicious. Please.
Oh, yeah, very sweet.
Aren't they nice?
Lovely,
yeah, so nice. I've got more in there and nobody's remembering them, so I must pick them before I go.
Don't tell the squirrels if they can get that high.
Yep. And then in the polytunnel it's all very exciting, because we have picked our pumpkins. They are not as big as we'd have liked necessarily, but we have got a few large ones, which is good. But the butternut squashes have been really interesting because they've done most of their growing in the last 3 or 4 weeks. They hadn't done much at all, and now they're looking great. They will still ripen, and they'll eventually go that kind of colour, and then they'll be all lovely and orange inside.
And you've got your pumpkin is it day, or?
We call it a pumpkin day, yes. I suppose it's a festival of pumpkins, everything about them that's wonderful. So we carve them, but we use the flesh to eat, and we are huge evangelists for eating them and not just using them like a piece of plastic that you've made a thing out of. And even big ones taste really good. I mean, you can grow one that's this kind of size and it still makes a lovely soup. Different ones are different.
Pumpkin soup is very Moorish.
Very, but there's different sorts. I mean, these ones are particularly delicious inside. It's a much darker colour, and they are really nice when they're used for things like pumpkin gnocchi. So using it instead of potato to make little pastry blobs that you cook. We also have pumpkin risotto that we will use on the kind of pumpkin you do for carving, where you use the flesh instead of water and instead of adding another vegetable, and it's just lovely with sage and butter and a bit of parmesan. Really good. All the recipes, actually, if you become one of the people who are in our group on Facebook, then you actually can access various things, including a recipe book that's got loads of recipes for pumpkins, which we put out during COVID. Did lots of good things during COVID. And we're coming to the end of our tomatoes, but they're still quite good. The bigger ones we might turn into fried green tomatoes, because that's delicious, and we'll be making tomato and apple chutney, hopefully at the end of this week, so we'll see how that goes. We've just harvested the grapes, which that's gone already, and we use the
gloves are growing well, Tracy.
Oh, the gloves are growing beautifully, which is always nice.
Yeah.
But we use the grapevines to make wreaths.
Oh right, okay.
So that's one of the things we have for when we do our wreaths at Christmas. So now really it's just getting a few cuttings going, keeping a few things going over the winter. And we do salads and herbs in the winter, but we've not really come out of our summer plumage quite yet. And also we're going to try and overwinter our aubergines and our peppers, but they need to go to somebody's house for that because they won't like the
What's going
frost.
off here?
This is from our wormery.
Oh,
and that's actually we have a moisture, light and pH meter. And that's just what that is, so that's showing you what that's good for. It's showing that as being quite alkaline, which is interesting, which I wouldn't have expected. So I wonder how well that works. But yes.
I thought you was making seed bombs for a minute.
Well, we do make seed bombs, but we use clay for that.
Yeah.
But this stuff, the bottom of the wormery, is full of all sorts of good stuff, so we'll spread that around. We'll probably water it and then water it on through a watering can to top up all the good stuff in the beds when we take things out. But we'll be taking stuff out in probably this Thursday and next week now, because it's coming to an end. We've got a lot of things we want to get done, so it's going to be interesting to see how much we actually get around to.
What would you usually cultivate coming up to sort of Christmas time?
So we usually have some salads basically, and kales, sometimes chards, that kind of thing in the beds. It's not a particularly warm polytunnel, and what we would like to do is put another bed in the middle. But obviously, as you can see, these tables get very well used, so we've got to do a little bit of a rejigging how we do things, and we're not quite there yet. We started with some of the wood ready, but it's just not happened for various reasons. So I would love to have that middle bed, but I think what I need is a big tidy up.
Bit like my place.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Tracy.
Well, thank you.
We'll catch up with you very,
Lovely
very
to
soon.
see you. Yeah, fantastic.